Yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, sports fans! Welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded. I am your host, Eric. Main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
Oh, I am psyched up for this show.
You are ready? Ready to go?
Oh, yes. There's a lot to talk about. We got a guest, Eric.
We do. We have a very special guest, Max RhodeIslandBroadcasting. He is a men's transformational coach. So we're looking forward to getting him on the program in a few minutes and talk about his story. So we're really excited about that, as well as all the other sports stories that we got to cover today, Ron. There is a lot to go over.
Yeah, I do have to say I have to apologize for last week's audio. I still say the casino was scrambling our broadcast. I still say it. I don't care what anybody tells me. It's no different than being here at the studio. We go there and all of a sudden nothing works right.
Yeah, well, listen, it was fun, though. We want to thank K&M Sports, right? That was a great opportunity. So thank them. And we were actually on their Facebook page with our promo. So that was kind of cool as well. So if you haven't watched the show before, we cover all of the top sports stories that have happened in the past week. So if you are joining us live, please join the chat. Let us know if you have any comments or if you have any questions for Max when he comes on. Please feel free to ask some questions there as well. We do want to thank all of our wonderful people that put us on across this state. So we start off with WDJY 99.1 in Dallas, Georgia. Thank you so much for putting us on every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as WBOB 990 in Providence, Rhode Island. Thank you for the support. And SEC TV, Public Access Channel 12 in Southeast Connecticut on every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. So check those. If you are checking us out there, come check us out Friday nights live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all the great content and join the program as well. But Ron, I guess it's time we start this show and look forward to talking to Max in a few minutes. But we'll start off with our leadoff story. And our leadoff story is the New York Knicks, who lost game one in a fashion that we could probably say was a choke. First time in over 1,400 games that a team that was up by 9 points with 1 minute or less lost in the postseason. Should Knicks fans be worried, Ron?
I'll tell you, they should. And, you know, this Indiana team, they can play some defense. And I think it's their time. I believe that they are going to the championships. And I don't think the Knicks are ready to stop them for many reasons. Look, I'm not saying the Knicks don't have a great team. They definitely have a great team. But they got so up for that Celtics series, there was going to be a letdown. And you can't ride that high for so long if you're going to continue. Look, I think they got lucky against the Celtics. Not so much luck, but they were in foul trouble a lot. And if they're going to be in foul trouble again in another series, they're going to have a hard time winning. This Indiana team is relentless. And they got a big-time player in Halliburton. And let me tell you, Naismith.
Added motivation. So if anybody remembers, Halliburton voted by the NBA players as the most overrated player in the NBA. think he's got something to prove. He's made some really big shots. If you think about the clutch player of the year,
Yeah.
right? Jalen Brunson on the other side couldn't match at the end of that game. OKC will win the series. Stop it, Ron. Different series.
It's a different series.
But I will say this. Again, no team ever 0 and 1,414. So this is where I start to really worry about the New York Knicks, Ron, if I'm a New York Knicks fan. Think about what happened with Boston. Boston ended up blowing 2 20-point leads.
Yeah.
And now you see New York doing the same thing. What happened in that series? Boston ended up winning that series, losing that series. And the Knicks, realistically, are falling into that same mold now. This is a game you needed to win. You had in the bank. Indiana plays a fast pace. The Knicks play their players more than anybody else. Their minutes are one of the highest in the NBA. And Indiana doesn't stop running. They are a fast-paced team. So that was a sign to me that there's fatigue, especially in the fourth quarter, especially when the Knicks didn't play bad in that fourth quarter. The Pacers just outplayed them in those last, 60 seconds.
They get stops when they need them. I mean, that says a lot. When you can go out there and get those stops, and that's something that the Celtics couldn't do. They didn't get those stops.
Yeah. Danny in the building. Thank you, Danny. Again, I think this Halliburton thing is going to come back, and I think the NBA, some of these players are going to regret the fact that they rated him the most overrated player, because his motivation. Yeah, his motivation level now, I think, is at a point where realistically, that step back, even though it was a 2-pointer, I mean, he's got like so many horseshoes right now that are just in his pocket, because that shot should have never counted. It should have never went in.
Hey, the basketball gods were really good to him. Now, if that turns out to be the only win they get, so be it.
Yeah.
But
I'd be pretty surprised if that is the only victory. Michael, thanks for joining. What's going on? I think the Knicks will bounce back tonight. Brunson playoff. Yeah. When crossing the timeline, which led to crucial turnovers, many fouls. Yeah. Time clock management. So it was funny because I was listening to it on there, though. Realistically, they took about 20 seconds per shot towards the end of the fourth quarter and like the last 2 minutes and change. Just Indiana matched everything. Free throws
shots were not good.
Free throws.
Some of those shots were really bad.
But free throws too, crucial.
Yeah.
Got to make your free throws. You can't let Indiana run. They've got to control the pace of the game. I think that's where it's going to become key. And listen, I think Jason Brunson's a very good player. But I also said his size sometimes could be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And I think if Indiana can continue to put him in positions where he's either going to defensively play somebody that's obviously bigger than him, it's going to cause some wear and tear, foul trouble, things like that, which I don't think the Knicks have an answer for. They don't have a bench. They don't have guys they go to outside of their 6-7 guys that they play consistently. Yeah. And that's where Indiana's playing 10 guys.
There's nothing that wows me when it comes to the Knicks. Like, they have some good players. And, they have some guys that can make shots when they need them. But if they're not hitting, they're going to be in trouble because, like you said, and the foul trouble is a problem for this team. Towns is always in foul trouble. He can't be.
Or crying to get a foul. One of the two.
Crying to get a foul, yeah. Look, we saw that a couple of years ago with the Celtics. Remember when they were crying up and down the court?
Yeah.
That takes your focus away. You can't worry about the fouls. And look what it cost Minnesota in game 1. getting a tech because you're crying about a foul.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, we know that he's taking dives and flopping. We know. We get it. You're all doing it in the NBA. You're all doing it. It's nothing new. You all do it.
Yeah.
And we've seen it here in Boston. How many times did Marcus Smart hit the floor in the past?
Yeah. Listen, I will also say this. Rick Carlisle doesn't get enough credit for the coaching job he does. This team, and we talked about it before, was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. A lot of people forget that. This is a team that has that experience that, again, don't have a legitimate superstar. Tyrese Halliburton's a very good player. Not a superstar, but a very good player. But they play so well together in what he's able to do to bring that team together. Rick Carlisle needs more credit. Too much crybabies. Yeah.
No, it's true. The NBA is littered with them. Littered with them.
And this is why I think a guy like Anthony Edwards doesn't get put as the face of the league, because he's another guy that cries. I forgot what they said. It was like $50,000 in fines he's paid. Like, these guys just decide they want to make, instead of playing basketball, if they're looking for ways to get a call, to make things happen. Karl Anthony Towns in that Boston series was driving me up a wall, because every time he took a shot, that's all he did is flail his arms and complain to the referees.
Yeah.
Play basketball. Use your size. Use your shot ability.
Look, you gotta in Alexander. What's his face? We just talked about him. I can't. It just went blank. For Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. Look, he needed to approach this game like Halliburton did. You take offense, most overrated player. Well, your opponent just won MVP. You need to show the league that you should have been MVP, and you didn't do that. You're quite doing the opposite.
Yeah. So, again, I think Michael's right. I think they bounce back tonight, the Knicks. I don't think Indiana gets both games in New York. But, again, all you try to do in the postseason is take one away from the home team, and now you've got home court advantage.
Yeah.
I think, LeBron cries a lot. Yes, for sure, Danny. I think you're going to see Indiana at home take the 2 games and go up 3-1 in this series. I agree with you, Ron. I think Indiana wins this series. I really do, based off of what we saw in game 1. And it's not because the Knicks didn't play well, but if you're up by 17 at one point and up by 9 with 60 seconds left in a game and you lose that game, Indiana's not afraid of you. Yeah. They're not afraid of the moment. And I think that's what game 1 did for Indiana.
Nobody is thinking Indiana has a chance to go to the championships. Nobody's thinking that. Everybody's right now is thinking this is the Knicks.
Counting them up. Right?
Yeah.
And this is where I say that image right there that you have in the middle of the screen, Ron, goes to show their confidence. That's a confidence level thing. That's a thing to say, you know what? I'm on the big stage and I'm going to show you that I belong. And that whole team, Aaron Nesmith, the 6 threes in the fourth quarter. Like, here's a guy that just
30 points.
The confidence on these kids is amazing. And I think that's where the Knicks expect to get there. The Pacers plan to get there. Right? They expect to get there. The Pacers plan on getting there. That's the difference right now in this series. Can New York change it, Ron? In your mind?
I mean, they can. I mean, they have the ability. They got some pretty decent players there. When you can put those 5 guys on the floor and you can dominate. But at the same token, if you're doing stupid things on the floor and just taking bad fouls, and as good as a player as Karl Anthony Towns is, he doesn't play smart all the time.
Agreed. So game 2 tonight, we'll see how that outcome.
Yes.
But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. All right, Ron.
I'm tuning into that one.
Great conversation to start us off. We will get into more NBA later on the show. We want to thank Mike and Danny for already jumping in, but let's get Max on here. So we're really excited to get Max Radovanec. Max, welcome to Sports Unfolded. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you, Eric?
We are great. I first off want to thank you for taking the opportunity to allow us to conduct an interview with you. We're really excited to have you. And just to give you the audience out there a quick synopsis of who you are, Max is a men's transformational coach and the founder of Eat to Fit Lifestyle LLC. Having personally overcome binge eating disorder, addiction, and mental health struggles to lose over 220 pounds. Absolutely amazing.
That's amazing.
Going from 430 pounds to shredded. You look great in that picture, by the way.
Thanks.
Max deeply understands what it feels like to be trapped in an unhealthy body and lifestyle. His coaching is rooted in genuine experience, empathy, and practical guidance, providing men with structure, sustainable, and custom-tailored plans that actually work. Max is currently preparing to compete in the Radical Body Transformation annual transformation event at the Toronto Pro Super Show in June of this year, openly documenting his journey to inspire others and to help more men achieve life-changing transformations of their own. A great story already to begin with, but I guess, Max, first question we want to ask you, you lost over 220 pounds, going from 430 pounds to shredded. Now 8 weeks out from stepping onto a bodybuilding stage. What originally sparked you wanting to make the change?
So honestly, it was literally just me being tired of looking at the same person in the mirror every single day and just seeing the same old me, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it got to the point where, you know, I just couldn't look at myself in the mirror. And honestly, one day there was originally like a defining moment that kind of sparked the change. But I woke up one day and I was like, I felt like I was in like this body that I am right now, but I was still in the overweight body, you know, and just, you know, felt like crap. And I was like, I need to get as far as I possibly can from this I just need to get as far away from it as I can. And from that point on, I quite literally quit. I quit alcohol cold turkey. I quit smoking cold turkey. Like those were two other bad habits I had, besides just eating a bunch of crap. And I just became obsessed with weight loss. And I just wanted to learn more, you know, tracking my calories, you know, food I should be eating, you know, exercise, the gym. I just threw myself into it all. And from that day on, and honestly, I really haven't gone back since. It's just been go, go, go ever since.
That is a great story. And I'm sure it inspires a lot of people out there because it's probably the hardest thing, to your point, mentally, just getting yourself into that mode.
Yeah, it's hard to reshape habits. Like when you think about just anything that you normally do every day, and if you were to try to change just that one thing, that is not an easy thing to do, no matter what it is. And when you have so many vices, you know, whether it is drinking or whatever it may be, salty snacks or sweets, or just it could just be overeating.
Ron, are you talking about yourself? Ron's talking about it.
I am. I know. Look, I know from experience. I mean, the point is, you know, when I was younger, it was never, you know, it was never a problem. You know, I was an athlete. I did all kinds of things. But, you know, that changes when you stop playing sports and you fall into the category of not changing eating habits. Then it just gets out of control.
Yeah.
And everybody faces these things. And you went and changed it. Yeah. And that's hard.
Next question would be, how did you get to 430 pounds at the age of 18?
Yeah. So basically throughout my entire life, I've always struggled with, mental health, bipolar disorder, and ADHD mainly. And one of these medications that I got prescribed, Abilify, it was like this moment where I got prescribed this medication when I was around like 12 years old. Um, there was like something in my brain, like a switch flipped or whatever it was. I used to be kind of a stick when I was a kid. Like, I didn't want to eat much, and I was like, obviously I was always super active. But then whatever, when I started taking this medication, I mean, it was just like I started to crave sweets all the time. I just wanted to eat more and more and more. And eventually, I just did that for probably 6 straight years. And
Wow.
eventually that's where I got to.
Yeah. Did you stop the medication, or was that how you figured out that's where the issue was?
Yeah. So when I was 18 years old, that's when I could like legally kind of make my own decisions with my health. So that's what I chose to do, is get off the medication. That helped a little bit, but but the habits were so ingrained. Like it wasn't like immediate, like, oh, I got off the medication. Oh, I just start losing weight all of a sudden. No, like these habits were like just deeply ingrained into me.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
kicking those, that was freaking hard.
Yeah. During your lowest moments, what motivated you to keep pushing forward?
Gosh, definitely the support of my parents. My parents have always been super supportive of me, even now, which is great. And also, now that later in my journey now, what keeps me going is, being able to inspire people, because I basically, I'm posting on social media all the time, and it's like I see the comments and I get messages of people saying like how I've changed their life. And obviously my clients, I want to set a good example. So, it's definitely that, right now my why has kind of changed. It's more outward, it's helping other people more than just doing it for myself, because I want to look good.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. No, honestly, that's probably the toughest. Princess, thanks for joining. It's insane right? Because a lot of people today in today's society don't want to help others, and the fact that that's what's inspiring you to continue to push forward is amazing. Great story, Max. I mean, that's amazing.
Did you experience like bullying when you were in like high school or anything like that? Because
Oh my gosh.
that's another side of this. I mean, everybody teases somebody, it seems, and now with the focus on the bullying thing, it'd be interesting. That might also help others. As far as that aspect of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad for sure. Like, I would, man boobs basically. I would get, kids would always, start touching me and flipping them up, and calling me names. Obviously, I was always the fat kid, so just like I was the punching bag. That was the kind of thing, and I never stood up for myself. Also, just because I was really insecure about it.
Yeah.
And obviously, when I just had no confidence then, and ever since then, gosh, yeah. Also, another motivating factor was like, I'll show you kind of thing. Like, I want to, make such a big change that you're gonna freaking regret ever, even bothering to make fun of me. And life kind of works in mysterious ways, or weird ways, I should say. Like the kids that bullied me, they're not really doing much with their lives now. But I got here.
Max, so we have a question. What is a normal day's routine? Supplements, nutrients, or nutrition?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
for sure. So normal days routine for me right now, I don't really have like a routine, so to speak, in regards to like how each day is going to go, just because I have two businesses. It could be, I have clients checking on, every different, so what days, and, so it's kind of a 24/7 thing. But in the morning, I'll wake up, and I'll usually do 5 minutes of meditation outside is what I like to do. I'll sit on the back porch and, could just kind of sit in the sunlight, and because it's been really nice outside. It's in Colorado.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I also go off of a meal plan. So I just like eating off of a meal plan. I eat the same 5 things every single day.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and that's
Well, what
kind
is
of just
it?
always how I've
I
been.
want to know.
Super simple. I mean, so oats and eggs for my breakfast. Like that's it. Oatmeal, egg whites, 2 whole eggs
Okay.
for I have an intra-workout shake. So for all my workout days, I have Gatorade, and just for carbohydrates to fuel me during my workout, and then post-workout, I'll have chicken rice. So, fourth meal's chicken rice, and then usually fifth meal's like I'll do like steak and potatoes or something like that.
Okay.
Well,
Wow.
so what am I doing wrong?
You said exercise, Ron, in there. Exercise.
Oh, that's what it is. All right. So Danny had mentioned that he was bullied in school also. And it's never okay to be bullied. That's never a good reason for anybody to do anything like that.
No. And again, I think Max used it to the right way, right? We know
Yeah.
there's been, some people that don't do it the right way, and you kind of used it as self-motivation, which was really amazing too. Ask him if he's he wants to know if you're a Broncos fan, Danny. And
I'm not a Broncos fan. All my family is they're all Packers fans.
oh wow,
So,
okay.
Yeah, all my family's from Wisconsin, so.
All right.
Oh, there's a surprise right there.
Yeah, big surprise.
Max, why is competing in the Radical Body Transformations show at the Toronto Pro Super Show so meaningful for you personally?
For me, honestly, again, just inspiring people and showing people like literally what is possible. Like if you just never give up and you set your mind to something and you just go for it and you push through, and persevere through the shitty times. Because obviously, I'm not perfect. With my diet and meal plan and whatnot, because I have a coach too, and I've screwed up along the way so much. Like I mean, 3 times I regained like 50 pounds each time. Yeah. Over the span of 3 years, like I said, I've always suffered from binge eating disorder, and it's something I still deal with to this day. And, but being able to overcome that each time and just, inspire people and step on stage and be like, this is what you can do. If you just never give up, pretty much.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. I do want to say, Max, I know we're going to bring you back in a little bit, but you're already inspiring, I'm sure, a lot of people out there. And I just want to say that the fact that you're so brave to share your story and some of your struggles ultimately will help others, because honestly, I don't think people will basically tell people how they feel sometimes, and they think they can just cope on their own. And you're proving that sometimes you need a little help along the way, which is really good. And I'm sure that's what you're doing now with both of your ventures.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Max. So we're gonna bring you back in a little bit. We're gonna do a little more sports, and then we'll bring you back if you're okay with that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
All right, Max. What a great story. What a great inspiration. So look forward to hearing a little more about his story in a little bit. But Ron, let's talk some.
No, before you even go, don't forget today's show is sponsored by Max's Fat to Fit transformation coaching.
Yes. So thank you for that as well, Max. Logo up there. Next time he's on, we can mention all the ways we can definitely have people either follow or join him as well. Ron, let's talk some NFL. So the NFL has allowed NFL players to participate in the 2028 Olympics flag football competition. Do you think it makes sense? Mike, stay tuned because we're going to talk to Max again. Does it make sense for them to allow this?
I mean, you kind of have to, right?
But there's already flag football leagues. There's already professional flag football.
I know, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna flock to it. I don't think they'll see too many people jumping in. I think I think
So,
maybe receivers or
I don't
running
know,
backs
Ron.
may do it.
Here's some names I've already heard. Patrick Mahomes said he wants to do it.
Oh, Jesus.
Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson. At least those three right now.
Receivers. Okay, I get the receivers thing. I don't know why Patrick Mahomes would want to. Maybe because he was hit so often last season.
Mike says makes no sense. If I am an owner,
I'm nervous as hell.
I don't want this to happen.
No, I don't want it either. But I'm just saying, you kind of have to with what
I understand from
like NHL did.
Well, I
And
say from a player standpoint, these guys want to represent their country. That's great. I get it. But as an owner, a guy that I'm going to pay $150 million to Patrick Mahomes makes what? Almost 50 plus million a year.
anything can happen.
I don't know if that's the activity I want them participating in. I don't know. I think, again, here's another way contract restrictions. Yes, there is. Certain guys cannot. I would be curious as to, is this just the NFL trying to get another piece of the market a different way? And again, it's more about money for them than it is about what's right for the players. I thought about this, Ron, and I'm not gonna blame the Celtics loss on the Olympics. But I will say this: you have three players that played in the finals, then the Olympics, and then back into the NBA season, then back into the postseason. When's the Olympics held? July, August? And then you're going to tell them they're going to go back in and now play in the NFL season. And then a Patrick Mahomes, who we expect to be in the postseason. You're not telling me that's more wear and tear and guys aren't going to break down. We saw it with the Celtics. We saw Drew Holiday break down. We saw it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point. There's a fine line, Eric. And it's like this pie. And one slice is saying this, one slice is saying that, and it's tough to balance it. Like, we all want these players to represent our countries. We all do. But none of us want our players, our team's players, in it. Because we know what it can do. And we know they are susceptible. Look at McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy went and played in that Four Nations, which was probably the best tournament I've seen in a long time. But it still injured a player. It still injured somebody from Vegas. It still injured other people. And it cost teams dearly. Now, with that being said, I do get that the players want it. And you kind of got to let them do it. You kind of got to let them.
What happens, though, when that first player gets hurt? What happens?
And yes, that could happen. But I understand the players, and I understand the league's point of view.
I get the players. But the NFL also is very strategic on why they do things. And here's another market.
Yeah, because NFL is eventually going to be flag football.
That too could be, but I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's setting players up for more injuries. Yeah, it's more wear and tear. It's just another situation where here we go with the NFL. Just to me, this is a money marketing scheme. Preseason 10 games, regular season 82 game playoff. Yeah, right. Like that's the NBA. And even with the NFL, like they're talking about going to 18 games, less preseason. These guys work out less during the offseason now because of all these different restrictions and rules yeah, absolutely, Mike. But even in the NFL, if they're complaining about
less preseason games, Eric, you're not playing as hard or as much getting ready for the season. And the NHL has started doing that as well. And it's costing them in the season because there are more injuries now than ever.
And you're going to see it. The NFL is cut back on their preseason because they were saying injuries. And now you're going to add the Olympic piece to it, which could create an injury. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I think this is more about money, honestly.
Oh, it's always about money, Eric. It's always about money.
So I don't know. I don't know, but as Mike seems to agree, he doesn't think it makes sense. Again, Danny's down with it. He loves flag football. Listen, watch flag football during the Pro Bowl because that's what they do now. So I don't know. I don't know.
Who was the player that got hurt playing flag football once?
I don't even remember. I know there was somebody that, yeah.
Thought it was a running back or something.
But again, it's just they're setting it up. But all right. Let's talk one more story, Ron. Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers have signed a deal. Do you think it was a good deal for the 49ers?
What did he sign for?
5 years, $265 million, $181 million guaranteed, and a full no trade clause.
Wow.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like players that are average getting no trade clauses.
Running back for the Pats. That was Robert Edwards during a
Edwards. Yes.
Beach flag competition. Yeah. Robert Edwards.
That's what it was.
Never was the same.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I don't like average players getting those kind of contracts. It sets an ugly precedence, right? I mean, you saw it with Watson. That was the one, right? That's the one that the NFL wished they could take back because that set everything up.
The Cleveland Browns do.
Right.
Cleveland Browns want that contract back.
But that's what started all the guaranteedness.
Yeah. No, but I will say this.
Not good.
Again, it's not a fully guaranteed contract, but that no trade clause is very interesting because that's 5 years now where we expect Brock Purdy, who's losing talent, right? They already lost Debo. They're going to lose, some other guys during the course of the next couple of years. 40 games, 23-13, 67.5 completion percentage. He's thrown 64 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. Decent numbers. But again, that's with the amount of talent that he had on that team. Now you're looking at Brandon Ayuk, who got hurt. Could be. Christian McCaffrey needs to stay healthy, right? Trent Williams is at the last year of his...
McCaffrey hasn't stayed healthy most of his career.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're investing a lot of money in a guy who I don't believe... Patrick Mahomes makes everybody better. Tom Brady made everybody better. Some of those guys went to other teams after, and they weren't very good. I think the guys that were around Brock Purdy made him better. That's where I start to sit back and say
average.
Right? 5 years.
I don't like the contract.
I'm stuck with this guy for 5 years now. But talk about Mr. Irrelevant getting Mr. Irrelevant getting a 5 year, $265 million contract. The last pick in the draft. That's crazy.
The funny thing is, Eric, I've been on San Francisco for the way they've been handling their quarterbacks. And I don't like this deal. And they just took care of Purdy. And I don't like it because I think he's just an average quarterback.
Mike says it, right? You think about it. They're going to have to cut somewhere. O-line, defensive line could suffer. Yep. Danny, Robert Edwards, did get hurt in 1999. Again, so it's going to be interesting. So, Ron, I wanted to go through, and I know we've done this in the past, but number one paid quarterback, Dak Prescott, $60 million a year. Josh Allen, 55. Joe Burrow, 55. Trevor Lawrence, 55.
Oh, that's just abysmal.
Jordan Love, 55. Tua Tagovailoa, 53.1. Jared Goff, 53. Brock Purdy now 53. Justin Herbert, 52.5. Lamar Jackson, 52. You know what all those quarterbacks have in common, Ron?
No Super Bowls?
None of them. Give me a prize. I'll give you a prize. A thumbs up, buddy. Good job. How the NFL has created this aura around the quarterback that they have to be the highest paid player on your team. And you're paying guys now that have never gotten there $60 to $50 million a year.
And I'm going to revisit the same thing I said previously when Tom Brady was playing. Somebody is a free agent coming up at the end of the year and they want more money. And I'm like, great, I can give you more money, but you are not getting paid more than Tom Brady. Period. And now it is, you are not getting paid more than Patrick Mahomes. Period. Not happening. When you win a Super Bowl, then come and talk to me. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. Yes. Okay. Josh Allen. All right. I can take that.
Still hasn't won, though.
Still hasn't won, but at least I accept that he's one of the best.
Dak Prescott?
No.
Made the postseason how many years?
Right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. How many times does he fail in the playoffs?
Joe Burrow made it. Joe Burrow made it to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff's made it to a Super Bowl.
Right. That's questionable. And
everybody
Lamar
else on that
Jackson
list
would have been another one that, okay, I can give you money. You're still not getting paid more than Patrick Mahomes. All of you. Not getting paid more than Patrick Mahomes. And for some reason, I don't understand why the teams just say, you know what? No.
This is the market, right? But again, how many teams is Brock Purdy? You put Brock Purdy on Cleveland. Is Cleveland going to even the postseason? No. Put Patrick Mahomes on Cleveland. You think they make the postseason? There's a good chance. Yes. This is what I'm saying. I think the league's just got so out of whack. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's a bad quarterback. He's not a
He's an average quarterback.
$53 million. I think this is going to come back to bite him. Mike's right. They're going to lose some guys on the O-line. Their defense is going to start to struggle a little more. And then here we go where they're going to be average. They're going to be average. They're going to be an average team. Yeah, Danny, that's not how it works.
You know what, Danny? I'm going to do you a solid.
Oh, you're going to do it? Oh, look at you.
Message me on Facebook or whatever, and I'll send you out something. I just need your address again. That's all. I'll send you something. I feel like I'm in a given mood.
Yeah. So Mike, next CBA, I'm telling you right now, the players are controlling that CBA more and more. Every time there's a new contract, and listen, guaranteed money now has gone out of control. Some of these guys guaranteed money for their entire contract. I think it's getting worse. And the problem is the NFL continues to make so much money that all they're doing is, okay,
they're
next
just passing the cost on. They don't care.
There's going to be $100 million
$1 billion. They don't care.
There's $100 million quarterback coming. It's happening. It's going to happen. Be ready. I guarantee in the next 5 years. Yeah. Guarantee in the next 5 years, because the next band is going to be 65 to 70 million. Somebody's going to want more than Dak Prescott. It's coming. Shador Sanders. No. Shador Sanders.
He might not even play ever.
All right, Ron. That's some great NFL talk. You guys have been amazing out there live. Continue to comment. You want a starting five, or we're going back to Max?
We'll go back to Max.
All right, let's bring Max back on. Max, I'm sure you probably think, what did I get myself into? These guys are a little nuts, but
I'm being kind.
Yeah, he is. He's actually being, which is a miracle. All right, Max. So as we continue, for the people not knowing where to start their weight loss journey, what is your advice on taking that first meaningful step? How can they do that?
So start very small. So notice like wherever, if you're very sedentary. So for example, myself, the first thing I started with was I knew I was sedentary. I haven't even touched my diet yet. I haven't even thought about that. I need to figure out how I'm just going to get moving, because obviously, I need to burn some calories. I need to, get moving, because I'm 430 pounds and I can hardly get out of bed. So what I started doing was just set a goal to walk a mile a day. And that's what I did. And the first mile was incredibly freaking hard. And, and I got back, my back was hurting, everything was sore, the next day. And I just kept doing that over and over again. And eventually that mile got really easy. And I upped it to 2 miles and I basically just progressively overloaded walking, that at first. And I lost a decent bit of weight just doing that. And then I went to my diet and assessed where things were there. So the first thing I just did was just started, incredibly small. And obviously those habits stacked up over time. It wasn't just, I didn't just jump all into weight loss. So if you're, feeling overwhelmed or, when you first start your journey, just start somewhere. It's very small, just a little bit of a habit, whether it's, switching from full sugar soda to diet soda, or, just getting up and moving, setting a step goal throughout the day, something little, and go with that for a month or two. And then, once you feel ready, do something else,
Do you think there's a better way to start it? Is it the dieting piece? Is it an exercise piece? Or it doesn't really matter, just what you're more comfortable with trying to work on first?
If there was a best way to do it, obviously it's all diet. It's like 99% diet for weight loss, but I have clients that, they're starting on the journey. They're 450 pounds, 400 pounds, etc. They're not ready to go to the gym yet, and that's completely okay. I start them just on a calorie amount and a protein goal, and that's what we go off of then. And they make great freaking progress just doing that.
Yeah.
We don't do any cardio yet or anything like that, but it's pretty much all diet. But once you lose a bunch of weight, and I'd say, if you want to go all into it, definitely, working out and, the diet.
Gotcha. You've often shared openly about overcoming binge eating disorder and addiction. What was the key to finally breaking free?
Well, for me, it was definitely structure. I basically found like a few meals that I really liked and that I could always go back to. And I've always liked just having some sort of plan in front of me, whether that's a calorie goal. For me, it was a calorie and protein goal. As long as I stay under that every single day, and I got in a routine in my head, I just found, high protein meals, and, that I would find out, throughout my journey. I would look on like recipes online and stuff like that. And that's why I've just like always stuck to the same few things, because it's just what I've always liked, what's always worked for me. So mainly it's been structure for sure.
So you
That's
said
been really important.
The 5 days you kind of have the same 5 meals. The other 2 days, do you do anything different, or is that kind of 2 days?
I didn't mean 5 days. I just meant like 5 meals.
Okay.
I do it pretty much every day.
Okay. Gotcha. Is there a particular, so how did you said you just kind of researched to get those meals, or is there?
Yeah, I just Googled like high protein recipes for weight loss. That was what I did in the beginning. And that will get you pretty damn far on like YouTube and, just Google.
Okay.
But that's why I did it first. And then, I just kind of went from there, trying things out that I liked or that I might like. But I just always went back to like the super simple stuff, like oats and, a little bit of peanut butter in the oats, a scoop of whey protein powder. It tastes good, and takes me less than 5 minutes to make.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there cooking something super elaborate for 30 freaking minutes.
Yeah.
And have a bunch of cleanup.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Now, I know there's so many different diets out there. A lot of people do the low carbs, or the whatever it may be, vegan, or the keto, whatever it may be. Now, you said you have chicken and rice a lot.
Yes.
What kind of rice do you have?
Just white rice.
See, now people keep telling me don't have white rice. They tell me to have brown rice, but I really like white rice. And they say because it's high in carbs, you shouldn't have it. So,
I mean, it's However, I mean, whatever works best for you. Like personally, I like a high carbohydrate, low fat diet, high protein, just because I work out 4 days a week. Just 10 minutes in the or sorry, not 10 minutes, an hour in the gym 4 days a week. Carbohydrates are one, brain fuel. Two, they fuel performance. Sports. Duh. What are these athletes
Yeah.
eating? It's like easily digestible carbohydrates, and one of them is white rice.
Yeah, it is amazing because sometimes you'll hear some of these players, like they say before they play a game, they'll eat like a burger or they'll eat spaghetti or pasta, something like that.
I used
Just
to
to,
have chicken broccoli Alfredo before my hockey games.
right.
That's
So
what I
yeah,
used to
so
have.
realistically, it makes sense because you're going to burn it and it gives you that energy that you need to get through. That's really cool. How do your own struggles and experiences with previously being 430 pounds influence the structure, sustainable approach you now use with your clients coaching?
So I know that what works for me does not work for everybody else. I do not run there is no client of mine that's on the same workout plan or the same kind of meal plan that works for whatever works for them. Some of my clients, they prefer to do keto, like the low carb approach, and that's completely okay. That's what works for them. And then some of my clients run the same diet as I do, a high carbohydrate, low fat diet, and obviously high protein, no matter what, high protein all the time. That's just a good goal to have. But yeah, I completely custom tailor everything to my clients' lifestyle, their goals, and what they have in their schedule. Because what works for me. I work from home. I can cook all my meals at home.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work for the dad that works 60 hours a week, 3 kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely. No, it makes a lot of sense. So again, we are being joined by Max Radovanik. He is a men's transformational coach. Fit to Fit Transformation Coaching is today's sponsor, so we appreciate you sponsoring the show today. Do you want to let everybody know some of the ways they could follow you or join to try to get some more information, Max?
Yeah, so that the first link, the beacons.ai link, if you copy paste that, put it in your browser, that'll literally bring up all of my links. It'll bring up my coaching application. It'll bring up all of my social media, all of that. But on all of my social media, it's Max R Fat to Fit.
Okay, that's
every
awesome.
single one of them.
Yeah, that's. I'll tell you, you're inspiring me, Max. You're inspiring me. I gotta tell you, now.
First,
I can't just go
Max,
to Colorado.
I'm going to tell you this though, Max. The first time the Boston Bruins have like a 6-game losing streak, he's going right back to the booze and the binge eating. So don't believe a word he's saying.
Well, I don't have to worry about the Celtics or the Bruins at this point in the season. There's no Patriots right now, and basically, I gave up hope on Red Sox a few years ago. Okay. So I don't have anything to worry about. Okay. So I have a good start to August, to get the habits going.
Okay.
And that's what I'm hoping now is the time, and then hopefully I can keep that going with low expectations on sports.
Okay, good.
Well, Ron, I have an ultimate transformation guide I can send you that I just created. It's complete with a workout plan, a meal plan, grocery list.
That would be so awesome.
Mindset hacks, tips, tricks, everything I use to lose over 230 pounds. I'll give it to you for free. And anybody in the audience, I will also give this to you for free.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is fantastic. Look, because there's so many people that struggle with this. I mean, a lot of them, and I know there's young people out there that are in school right now, and they are going through probably a lot of the things that you discussed, in the first part of this interview. And there's got to be a silver lining out there for these people. There has to be. And we're hoping this reaches out to somebody. And if we can change one person from this, one, It's all we're asking. One person. If you don't know where to start, try going to one of those links and talking to Max, because you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, no, definitely. Listen, it's I think we both can agree we've struggled with weight and trying to control it, and it like myself, yeah, in school, Danny, right? So many different ways that you start to feel a different way about yourself and in your body. And the fact that you can keep such an upbeat motivation to wanna, we feel it right now, Max. And I'm telling you, like, if people say, hey, it's not real, A, look at the picture, B, just hearing you speak, just your passion behind it, you can tell that it's something that you truly believe is beneficial for people, not just because it's something great to do. It's because it's going to ultimately change their lives, which is amazing.
And like I said, if anybody wants the Ultimate Transformation Guide, I can put the Google Drive link to download it right in here. I don't know if there's a spot I could put it, but I would love to send it to any of you. Like, literally send me a DM on Instagram. I will send it to you. So feel free to reach out. I answer all DMs. So
yeah, no, that's amazing. You've built a community by authentically sharing your struggles and triumphs. Why is this transparency so important to you?
Because I know that there are a lot of people going through the same shit that I am. Pardon my language, same crap that I am.
Yeah.
And just no one talks about it, which, is understandable. And I just want to be the North Star, that people can go to, and, that they can get inspiration from, they can get help from. So
that's really cool. So once again, Max RhodeIslandBroadcasting from Fat to Fit.
I think you've managed to pronounce his name like 4 or 5 different ways already.
Have I?
Yeah, same with the coaching. Like, you said eat to fit, and then you said fit to fit, and then you finally got it right.
Fat to Fit. Fat to Fit. Fat to Fit Lifestyle LLC, men's transformation coach. Max, you're amazing. I could see amazing things from you. Thank you again for sponsoring the show today as well. If you want to continue to come back on, maybe we ask you some other off the cusp questions.
We'll bring him back on after the next segment and kind of see where he's moving forward to the future.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. All right, Max. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
Thank you. All right, Ron, it is time for starting 5. In our starting 5 tonight, top 5 Toronto Blue Jays of all time.
Toronto Blue Jays?
Yes, it was Toronto Blue Jays.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I did Toronto Raptors.
That is funny.
I was wondering why you decided to do basketball starting 5 and pick and roll. I guess I didn't read it very well.
Toronto Blue Jays. So I guess you'll do the Raptors and then I'll do the Blue Jays and we'll see if we agree. How's that tonight?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Good. If you are first with your all-time Toronto Raptors, and then I'll do my all-time Toronto Blue Jays.
That had to have been me. I probably just didn't pay attention to it as well. All right, so I have for my honorable mentions, of course, I only have 5.
Oh, only. Okay.
I have OG Anunoby.
How long was he with them? I don't think he was with them long.
Well, he played 395 games, so I think it was like 6 or 7 seasons.
Okay.
I also have Antonio Davis.
Mm-hmm. More for Indiana, but okay.
Yes, but he still played 310 games with Toronto.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I get you.
He's got nice numbers. His only All-Star appearance was with Toronto.
Wow. Okay.
I think. Maybe.
Okay.
Also, I have Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka, I agree with. Blockmaster.
Yes, 228 games with the Toronto Raptors, averaged 14 points and 7 boards. You know, pretty good numbers, solid numbers. Won a championship with them, as did Anunoby. That was a squad. 2019, that was a squad.
So
They had a great team.
Lewis did ask if anyone can join the show. You can join the live chat, Lewis. If you want to chat, let us know. You can put it on the chat. The interviews are actually conducted through other processes.
Yeah, so if you're involved in sports, just send me a message.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Damon Stoudemire.
Yeah, I like
honorable
Mighty
mention.
Mouse. Mighty Mouse, that's a good one.
19.6 points a game, 8.8 assists. Only managed to get, honorable mention.
Okay.
My bubble.
Oh boy.
The bubble guy.
The bubble guy.
Fred VanVleet.
Okay.
Was the bubble guy.
Okay. All right.
So he was close.
Okay.
14.6 points, played 417 games, won a championship that 2019. Again, think about all these players.
Danny's DeMar DeRozan. I'm sure he's going to be in his top 5. I would almost guarantee it.
Who did not make the list?
That's not a thing. What are we doing here?
I know. I'm just mentioning the fact that Tracy McGrady did not make my list at all.
Wow. Okay.
192 games, 11.1 points, 5.5 boards, and 2.5 assists. Didn't even make my list.
Okay.
Wasn't very good numbers.
No. Okay.
He blew up right after that, though.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, I have Scotty Barnes, who's currently there.
Wow, at 5 already. Okay.
At 5 already, and I'm like, if this guy ever brings them a championship, wow. 17.2 points, 7.5 boards, 5 assists. Those are great numbers. 1.2 steals per game. He's been in an all-star game once, rookie of the year, and all-rookie team. Played 276 games. Those are really good numbers. Number 4, Danny, DeMar DeRozan. Made number 4. Where's his numbers? Can't find his numbers. 675 games played, 19.7 points, 4.1 boards, 3.1 assists, 4-time All-Star with Toronto, 2-time All-NBA with Toronto. So it's a big gap in between 4 and 5. Number 3, Chris Bosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see
that.
What
a nice player he was. Oh, my God. 20.2 points per game, 9.4 boards, almost a double-double average. 5-time All-Star, 1 All-NBA, Hall of Famer. 509 games played. He was right there. He was right there in the mix. Number 2, you're going to be surprised at this one as well. Vince Carter only made it to number 2 for me. And believe me, look, I get it. Probably athletically one of the best players to ever play. Right? I mean, he's dynamic. But 23.4 points, love that. 5.2 boards, 3.9 assists. Average 1.3 steals per game. 6-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA Hall of Famer. Also won the Rookie of the Year for Toronto. 403 games played. I love the numbers. There's one thing that was missing.
The championship. You're going to go Kawhi Leonard.
The championship. Oh, I actually did not go Kawhi Leonard.
Wow. Okay.
Kawhi Leonard is also not on my list at all.
Wow. Okay.
He only played 60 games there, one season.
He
I'm
won
not
a
giving him.
championship. Single-handedly
did.
won him a championship. But go ahead.
Look, I did, but he only played 60 games there. I'm not giving him the title.
Okay. All right. So
Not
who got it?
Number 1, Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
Not Mike Lowry.
Not Mike Lowry.
Kyle
Mike Lowry.
Lowry.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry.
601 games. He averaged 17.5 points, 4.9 boards, 7.1 assists, 1.5 steals, 6-time All-Star, so the same amount of All-Stars as Vince. One less All-NBA with 1, but he did win that championship, which was key, and he was a key part of that.
Okay. All right. I maybe,
Look,
yeah.
I like Vince Carter better as a player, but he didn't bring the hardware to Toronto.
Okay. All right. But I don't know. It's good. Your list was good.
It's splitting hairs.
Yeah,
They
it's
were
good.
that close.
It's good. I may have put Vince ahead, but I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I figured that's why I
All
put him
right.
on your side.
All right. So I'm going to give you my starting 5 Toronto Blue Jays.
I'll try to contribute.
Honorable mentions: Jose Bautista.
Yep.
And Vernon Wells. Vernon Wells, center fielder.
Vernon Wells was a good player.
Very good player. Very good player.
Yeah.
But I had to go at number 5 with Joe Carter, 5-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, and 2-time champion. I'll never forget the home run. I mean, that was a moment
What a
for
great player he was.
for the Blue Jays. So I went Joe Carter at number 5. At 4, all-time winningest pitcher in Toronto Blue Jays history, Dave Stieb.
Nice.
175 wins, 1,658 strikeouts, all-time number 1 for them, 7-time All-Star, and a 1-time ERA champ. At 3, I went Tony Fernandez. 1,583 hits, which is first all-time. 4-time All-Star. Wasn't Vernon Wells' buddy, the Elf's father? It could be. It was. It might have been. Might have been. 4-time All-Star. Ron, 4-time Gold Glover.
Yes.
And a 1-time champion with the Toronto Blue Jays. That's why I put him at 3. At 2, Carlos Delgado. 1,413 hits.
I know who number 1 is.
3rd all-time. Number 1 in home runs for the Toronto Blue Jays, 336. 1st in RBIs, 1,058. 2-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, and a 1-time Major League Baseball Player of the Year. But at number 1, we did lose him too soon. Roy Halladay, 148 wins, 2nd all-time, 1,495 strikeouts, 2nd all-time, 6-time All-Star. And what made him number 1 for me, Cy Young. He was the best pitcher that season, and he was dominant. He was a dominant pitcher. He just didn't play long enough with them. He would have been their all-time wins leader if he had stayed. So I went Roy Halladay at number 1.
You did miss somebody.
Who'd I miss?
Roberto Alomar.
I was going to put him in. I don't know. Kyle Lowry, Kawhi Leonard, Chris Bosh, DeRozan, Pascal Siakam. That's not a bad one, Danny. That was
No,
a good
it
one,
isn't
too.
a bad one. I actually forgot about him.
Yeah, Pascal Siakam. That was a good one. Very good one, Danny.
That's
Very
a
good
good
one.
one.
That
is a good one because I
That's a good
forgot. I
list. That's not a bad
forgot
list.
about him.
Yeah, that's not a bad list. But
No.
Vince Carter, Danny. No Vince Carter. I don't know about that one either, though.
Yeah,
I
but
think
he does have cow yard.
Yeah, be nice.
It can't be any worse than what we've done.
Yeah, I mean, I've hacked Max's name 17 times.
Look at Kenny's spelling. He spells
Yeah.
everything wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I listen. All right, that's our starting 5. A little different this week. I like it, though.
Yeah, that was pretty
That
fun,
wasn't
though.
bad. That might be.
I still would have put Alomar in there in that top 5,
no,
though.
I agree. You could be right.
I think I might have dropped Steve out for Alomar.
Yeah, you could be. I get all-time winningest pitcher and strikeouts. And strikeouts.
I mean, when you get players that look at the players that they've had.
Yeah.
Don't forget they had Roger Clemens too.
Yeah, they did for a little bit. All right, we're gonna bring Max back on. We're gonna bring Max back on. And
Yes, we'll bring Max back on, and we'll talk about future endeavors and such.
All right, Max, welcome back.
Welcome.
Okay, the door shut. I'm like, he's in a different location. What happened?
No, my roommate got home, so I was like, I'm going to shut it.
All right. Max, we've had a great time with you, but let everybody out there know, what's the future plans for Fat to Fit Lifestyle LLC and Men's Transformation Coach? What's next on the docket for you?
So right now, I'm not 8 weeks out from the bodybuilding show anymore. I am 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So
Wow.
It's June 6th. So that immediately, coming up, and that's going to be fun.
Okay. Is this your first competition?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
it's a transformation event. It's a bodybuilding show, but it's really a transformation event.
Nerves? Little nervous? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Of course. Gosh, yeah. I mean, it'll be on the same stage as the IFBB pros. Like it'll be the day before, but it will be actually on the same stage.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow.
So, but in regards to business, I mean, I just started a peptide company. So, Mile High Compounds. It's my research chemical company. So, feel free to check me out on the Beacons link. I don't have a website up yet, but very soon in like mid-June, I'll have a website up. But
so what is it, like supplements and stuff like that?
Yeah, research compounds like retatrutide, tirzepatide, BPC 157, TB 500. So they're peptides. Yes.
Okay. No, it's new to me. So the peptides they're called. So I mean, like they like supplements for like weight training or exercise of some sort. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. So basically, what like a peptide is. So we'll take like BPC 157 for example. It's So basically, these are like bioavailable compounds, and BPC 157. It's called body protective compound 157, and basically, what it is that it's in your stomach lining. It's what protects the stomach acid from the outside of your, stomach from basically devouring itself from the stomach acid. And basically, they take these. They take this BPC 157. They put it, basically extract the chain of amino acids and put it into a lyophilized powder form, and basically you reconstitute it, and basically it has like protective compounds like tendon ligament repair, joint recovery, stuff like that.
Wow.
So you can actually patch Ron up, basically.
You're too broken.
With all the nicks and stuff inside.
He's too broken. He's too broken. And is that ongoing now? Is that so you're going to have a website they can order the product?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Very soon. So early June. Right now, I do have a direct order form right now. So that you can still order from me, but in regards to like having an actual website, that'll be up in mid-June. So
okay, outstanding. After the competition, you got to win the competition first. Is that
yeah? I got.
What's on the line for that? Is it like a nice money prize, or is it just like a ribbon?
Oh no, there's $20,000.
Oh.
Wow. All right.
Oh.
Guess who's going on a diet tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm going to have to bring a portable speaker with me as I exercise with the Rocky theme.
Yeah, there you go. Max, as well, if somebody did want to sign up with you for the Fat to Fit, is there like a timetable? How long does it take, or are you currently taking bookings for that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I'm currently taking on clients. Basically, my application is in the Beacons link, so you can click on there. It'll have all my links. It'll have the one-on-one coaching application there. Basically, you just click that, and I'll get the application, and if it's a good fit, you'll be redirected to book a call with me, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Is
And
this
you
like
can
in-person
go ahead.
thing, or do you do it? I'm sorry.
Online.
Everything's
Online.
strictly online. Okay, perfect.
Now, how do you deal with people from places that aren't in Colorado? Do you have those kind of clients as well?
Yeah, I have clients from the UK, Australia. Yeah, like it's all online. So I have everything through my Fat to Fit coaching transformation app. And I do the custom diet plan, nutrition plan, all from there, like 24/7 communication with me. All of that is all through my app.
Well, just to let you know, we're really big in Sao Paulo, so you might have to brush up on your Portuguese.
Huge. Yeah, we're huge. We're huge.
It's literally the second city on our list of viewers.
So once again, if
That's
you're
crazy.
just joining us, we are being joined by Max Radovanich. I probably said it wrong again. I'm really bad with names, Max. I apologize. Fat to Fit transformation coach, Fat to Fit Lifestyle LLC. All the links are right there on the bottom there, how you can follow. What an inspiration you've been tonight. I really think that we joke and we kid, but you can see the passion behind it, what you're trying to do, which is amazing. So I think you're going to do some great things and really make some changes in people's lives, which is really cool.
Yeah, thank you. And I already am, and it's really just something I have an insane passion for. I obsess about it all day. So it's great to be doing something that I love for a living. It's really a blessing.
I think the biggest thing too I got from it tonight, like sometimes you may stumble or fail at a point, and it's how you pick yourself back up. And you said it, you kind of bounced around for a little bit and figured out, like, listen, you're not perfect. And I think people need to hear that, because they just assume, they see the pictures and like, look at this, it's so easy. And sometimes it's not, right? There's definitely things that go into it from a mental standpoint, from, you said, routines that you now try to change and break. So I think you've really taught some people some things today about how they can get fit, how they can improve, and how you can help them through that.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're if you're not interested in coaching, but you want some free resource from me, like I said, I have the Ultimate Transformation Guide, completely free, 10-page PDF booklet going through absolutely everything I use to lose over 230 pounds. Meal plan, training plan, like grocery list, 5 sample meals. What else? I have a high protein, like Ninja Creamy recipe in there.
Okay.
I really love. So it's like a protein ice cream kind of thing. It's a machine.
Oh, nice.
But I have that recipes in there, and tips, tricks, mindset hacks, stuff like that. So it's all in that one booklet, and I can send it over to you. Just DM me on Instagram. And
okay, that's awesome.
And I'll tell you, Eric, you hit this point. It's like, it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. It's just what you do after that is what counts.
100%.
You get back up, you dust yourself off, and then you move forward again.
No.
That's about what everybody has to do. You can't be afraid of failing either. You can't.
You cannot. Max, before we let you go tonight, first off, I want to thank you again for joining us. Is there anything you'd want to ask us?
Honestly, I don't have anything, right off my head that I can ask. Gosh,
you don't want to ask how much we weigh and why we do this instead of something else. So again, I want to thank you once again for sponsoring the show, Fat to Fit Transformation Coaching. It's been amazing tonight to have you, Max Radovanich. I cannot do this.
You were so close that time.
I was really trying to focus on it. But Max, I want to thank you again. In all honesty, such an inspiration. Again, we suggest everybody look at that. Those ways to follow. Check them out on Instagram. And again, you did say if somebody really wanted to just get the information, they can DM you in the Instagram at MaxRFatToFit. And be able to get that information from you. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Eric and Ron. I really appreciate it. So
No,
I enjoyed talking with you guys.
you've been amazing, Max, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. And good luck on the tournament, the competition.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Keep us up to
Absolutely.
date. Let us know how you made out. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
All right.
Also, Radical Body Transformations has an Instagram, so you can go. They're going to live stream it and everything. So
Oh, wow. Okay, we'll check that out. We'll definitely check that out. Max, you have a great night, and thank you. And what, you 3 hours difference, so you're still what, like 4 o'clock over there in Colorado?
2 hours.
It's 5:30. Yeah,
5:30. Oh, 2 hours. Okay, they're mountain. Okay, all right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your night, Max. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Max.
Well. Thank you, Eric and Ron.
All right, take care.
Bye bye.
That was great.
Max Radovanik. Now I can say it.
Wow, I do have to say, he really makes you feel better.
He does. It's the inspirational. You could hear it in his voice. Like
Yes.
he really meant it. So that was so cool. That was great. And we wish him all the best in that competition, because you know what? He deserves it. You can hear it in his voice.
Absolutely.
All right, Ron, we're going to continue with our show, and we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA. Shai Alexander won the MVP. Did the NBA get the decision right?
I think they did. And he proved it the day he got it, right? Last night. What did he do? 38 points. The man is good.
I agree with you there, but again, when a player averages a triple-double.
I get Jokic had great numbers, right? Triple-double.
He averages triple-double. But they're tired of giving it to him.
Yeah, but at least they gave it to someone that deserves to get it.
Yeah, 76
he
games.
Deserves it.
He averaged 32.7 points, 5 rebounds, 6.4 assists.
Damn good.
He shot 51.9%, 37.5% from 3, 89.8 on the free throw. Jokic, on the other hand, 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, 10.2 assists, shot 57.6%, which was 6%
I get it.
better. 41.7 from 3, which was 4% better. And Shai Gilgeous Alexander shot a little bit better from the free throw line. That was it. I just feel like,
I mean, it was. Look, I get it.
They did this last 2 years ago with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid won the MVP because they didn't want to give Jokic 3 straight, and they did it again. I still think Jokic was the better choice. I'm not saying SGA didn't deserve it, isn't a good candidate, but you're arguing with numbers that triple doubles, it's not easy to do.
I know. Look, do I think Jokic is an MVP? Yes, I do. There should have been nothing wrong with giving a co-MVP this year.
Yeah, I would have preferred that.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Look, this man he had a special season, okay?
Best record in basketball. Yep.
Yeah, and I get all of it. And I get the other side of it, that Joker deserves it too. Co-MVP in my book.
71 out of 100 first place votes. The other 29 went to Jokic.
Yeah.
Nobody else received a vote.
No.
So that's where I say, when it's like that, I think, unless it's a clear cut, to your point, I would have rather seen co-MVPs this year.
Yeah, that would have been a nice thing to see.
That would have made more sense.
I think both of them deserve it.
I think this is the league trying to get another face. And it makes sense, right? Like SGA's kind of kept himself clean.
This is the league trying to find their Jordan.
This is their next guy. Yeah. This is their next face. And again, I think that's why he got it, is I think they're going to say, look, he's the MVP of the league, right? And now, really good shot, they're going to make it to the finals. And here you go. And if he wins it, now they've got something to really build on. So congratulations to SGA. I mean, it's great. I just don't know. I think to me, it's a little tainted.
I don't think it's tainted. I mean, he beat Joker in the playoffs. So look, you just give it to him. That's fine. I don't think Joker is broken up about it.
No, I'm sure he's not. probably more broken up about losing to him than anything else.
Yeah.
In the second round. Eric answer. Danny, what was the question? I'm sorry.
No, it was about
His-
the starting 5 players. Did he get it right? It was pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. You did pretty well there. You did pretty well.
I think you needed Vince Carter in there, but
Yeah. SGA.
it's a good one.
Congratulations. All right, Ron, let's talk some Major League Baseball. Juan Soto is rumored to be unhappy with the New York Mets. Do you think there's trouble in New York? Is there trouble in New York?
Why is he unhappy? Are they in first place?
Second.
Oh, they slipped out of first.
Yes.
Philly?
Second place. Yes. Listen, 15 years, $765 million deal.
You can't complain.
That didn't make him happy. Sweet boxes and charter flights for his family on all the away games didn't make him happy. He wanted to play for a winner. They're in second place, 30-20. I don't understand what's going on other than I think.
What are his numbers? That's the question.
He's batting 243, 43 hits.
There you go.
8
so
home runs.
it's not the Mets. It's you. He's the one that has to look at himself in the mirror and say, hey, I got to do more. I'm only batting 240-something, getting paid $700 million plus.
The funny thing was, I was talking to one of my buddies, and he's a Mets fan. And we were talking about, there was questions about he's, a little upset he wasn't back behind Judge now, so he's not getting as many. Pete Alonso's having a very good year.
Alonso's a good ball player.
Yeah. I think he regrets making the decision to go to the Mets. He went to the Queen side, and he should have stayed in the Bronx. And now it's starting to affect him because those fans, he doesn't want to be hated. And you could see the Yankee fans, there's a strong dislike now for him because he ran for the money. He ran for those deals that honestly makes no sense to me. I heard it the other day when I hear his family's getting charter flights that was written into his contract to go to the away games. What do you need that for? How is that making you a better ball player? That has nothing to do with baseball, man. And I think this is where he took the money. He took all those extra luxuries that the Mets were willing to give him. And now you're not happy about it?
He's not playing hard.
No, and they said it.
He's on vacation.
Ron, the fact that a manager had to tell a $765 million player that he needs to hustle, that's a problem. In your first season with that team, season, you're only, 40 games in? 50 games in.
Look, and you can't be upset about the Yankee fans hating you. That happens all the time with these big markets. Look, it might be a piece of cake out there in LA land when it's relaxed atmosphere. You're not going to look, Boston, New York, they're in your face. The fans are in your face. They are getting on you no matter what, because it's for real. When you play for a Yankee organization or a Boston organization, the fans demand what they are getting paid for.
Right.
They demand it.
He took the money. He did take the money, Danny, right? And that's where I think he has to understand. You take that kind of contract, you become the highest paid baseball player ever. You don't think a million eyes are going to be watching everything you do? Watching your performance and saying we're paying $765 million for a guy that's batting 240 and has 8 home runs.
I mean, you look at the reaction when somebody signs in New York, Alex Rodriguez, Texera. They just sign there and Boston fans are furious. Imagine a player that leaves Boston to go to New York, Johnny Damon. Roger Clemens, he had a stop in Toronto, but,
a few stops. Toronto, Houston, he had a few stops.
Yeah, but the fans are still going to react. You don't think that the Yankee fans weren't going to react, you signing for the Mets? You don't think that? And if you can't handle that, you have a problem.
Yeah, I just don't think
and your season stinks right now.
Yeah, I don't think he realized the amount of scrutiny he was going to get because of the deal. I think he just listen. You became the highest paid baseball player, and so Ohtani was the highest paid. Guess what? He produced.
Yeah.
You don't produce with that kind of contract. This is the backlash you're going to get. I don't care if you were in New York, in the Bronx. And guess what? If you were performing like this, they would be doing the same thing to you there. So
absolutely,
he has to understand that contract comes with a lot of pressure. If he's not close to 280, 290, hitting double-digit home runs, like that, these fans are going to turn on you quick.
I think back to when Sandoval signed in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
The big panda?
The panda.
Oh, my God. He stunk up the place, and the fans let him know it every single game.
Yeah.
Boo, 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 boo. He couldn't handle it anymore and needed to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think this story is going to end well. I really don't. I think that a couple years in, he's going to want to try to get out, and nobody's picking up that contract.
And when you're going into a losing streak, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Those Met fans, they look up and down that lineup, and they are knowing who's playing well, who's getting paid, and does your salary match what your production is?
100%. So good luck. All right, Ron. We'll see how this turns out, but let's get into our split decisions. So our split decision segment, basically we ask each other 2 more likely questions, and then we've got to make a decision. You are first this week, so your first split decision.
Oh, I got a good one for you, Eric.
All right.
Got a good one for you. We will go with ooh, what the hell just happened? I don't know what just happened. I can't get out of this. Who is more likely to win the NFC West? Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, or Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold's not winning it. I'll give you that right now. I take him out. Kyler Murray, I don't think they've done enough to leapfrog anybody. So my choices would be Brock Purdy or Matthew Stafford. I'm going to go Brock Purdy. Only reason why is they've got the easiest schedule in the NFL based off of strength of schedule. And I really think they have a bounce back year. So I go Brock Purdy. Danny seems to agree with me.
Danny agrees with you.
I think I'd go Brock Purdy on this one, only because of that reason, because of the schedule. I don't think they're the better team. I just think that San Fran's going to put up enough wins to win the West.
Yeah, that schedule means a lot.
Yeah. So that's a good question, though. That was a really good one. All right,
that was
Ron.
A good answer. It changed my mind, actually. Yeah. So I'm gonna say Brock Purdy as well. Yeah. You changed my mind.
Good job. All right, Ron. You got to really pay attention to this one because this has got 6 choices. So, Ron, which
6 choices?
Which team is more likely to win another NBA championship first? So there's going to be obviously a new champion. There's been 6 champions in the last 6 years. The Boston Celtics, the Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Los Angeles Lakers, or the Toronto Raptors. Those are the last 6 NBA champions. Which team is more likely to win an NBA championship again first?
That's pretty easy, actually.
Okay.
Denver Nuggets.
Ooh. Okay.
I look at it this way. I don't think LA can do it. I know they have 2 dynamic players, but neither of them really play any defense. So I rule them out.
All right. Danny disagrees with you there. He's going Lakers.
Yeah, I figured as much. I think the Celtics are going to be broken up. Okay.
Yes, I agree. We got a before we get back to we have a split decision. James wants most interception season. Prescott or Drake May? Ooh. I'm
going Dak.
I'm going Drake because I think they're gonna be down and he's gonna have to force some stuff.
No, I think Dak Prescott is gonna have more.
That's a good question, though.
It is a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm sorry, Ron. So Lakers out.
Yeah, Celtics, no.
Celtics out. So
Toronto, I think they're gonna be like redoing everything.
Yeah, they're still retooling.
Who are the others again?
So then you got Denver, Golden State, and Milwaukee.
Golden State, it's almost over. Milwaukee is over.
You don't think they get one more run, maybe? Maybe?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
So they're out. So that leaves you Denver and Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee, they're gonna be getting rid of everybody. So definitely not. Like, truthfully, I think only 3 teams can do it. And that is Denver, Boston, and Lakers. But I think the Celtics will be broken up, and I don't know how long LeBron is going to be there.
Okay.
And I don't know if he can stay healthy enough.
So just process of elimination becomes Denver.
Yeah, it's just Denver.
Okay. Your second split decision. Everybody else said Dak as well, so they agreed with you on that, Dak Prescott. Good question, James.
It was a great question. It's intriguing. What team has been the biggest disappointment in the MLB this season? Milwaukee Brewers or the Baltimore Orioles?
It's got to be Baltimore. As crazy as it sounds, Baltimore, honestly, I think a lot of people picked them to be in this race.
They're 16-32.
Yeah, and it just, they completely fell apart. So I would go Baltimore without a doubt because they still got young bats. Yeah. They still have some quality players. And
I think it's not too late for them.
Well, baseball, it's like 17 months a season, but feels like it anyway sometimes. But all right. But I'm going Baltimore without a doubt. I don't think anybody expected Milwaukee. I mean, it's Milwaukee. 1 year they go, then they stink.
Baltimore is in a good division.
Yeah, but still.
Milwaukee's in a not so good division.
But Baltimore won over 100 games last year.
I know.
Yeah, so. All right, Ron. Your second split decision. Which Boston Red Sox hitter is more likely to lead the team in home runs this season? Alex Bregman, who's leading the team with 11. Is it Wilyer Abreu, who's also has 11, or Rafael Devers, who has 10, but I think he hit 2 today, so he's at 12.
Well, I mean, I don't know this injury for Alex Bregman, how bad it is, but there's some talk about it. It's probably not that serious. So with that, I think it has to be Devers. I mean, unless he gets traded.
I don't know. No, he's on a tear. He had a big game today already.
Oh, they made a big trade. They got some guy first base.
There we go. There we go. All right, Ron.
I'd like to tell you the guy's name, but I don't remember it because I've never heard of him.
Let's talk some NHL. Is this finally Alex Bregman? Danny says. Will this be the year the Dallas Stars finally get past Edmonton and get to the Stanley Cup? So they've lost. This is their 3rd straight season in the conference finals. They lost to Vegas. They lost to Edmonton last 2 seasons. Can they finally get there with the amount of trades and what they've done?
I think they can. Because I think offensively, I think they can generate offense with Rantanen. You know, I mean, that's a huge addition.
Still leading the postseason with 20 points, 9 goals.
It's been phenomenal.
And then we talked about it. Jake Ottinger.
Oh,
listen, 917 save percentage, 2.51 goals against. He's doing what he has to do.
And you think about who he's had to play in the postseason.
Yeah.
Winnipeg, Colorado, and now Edmonton.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
Danny's excited. Go Stars, right? Second in the postseason in power play percentage, 34.9. Third in penalty kills, 84.8. They're doing it on both ends. Listen, they scored 6 goals against Edmonton. That was the second time they scored 6 goals in the postseason. That bodes well. If Edmonton can't play defense, which we've always kind of questioned,
Lights out.
Even with their firepower, Ottinger can stop enough to at least, listen, you score 4 goals, you're going to win.
Ottinger can win a game by himself. He can win a game by himself. And I don't think Edmonton can stop Dallas. I don't think they can. In fact, I will go as far as saying Dallas is winning the Stanley Cup this year.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first. Sports Unfolded. Danny's all in for the Stars. No, I agree with you,
I
Danny.
am too. I actually really like this team.
Yeah, no.
I really like it. It's what I wish the Bruins were.
Yeah, no, you got it. You got it, honestly. So I
They
agree with
should
you.
have been.
This is going to be the year. Dallas, you winning it. You heard it. All right, Ron. Pick and roll time. Pick and roll tonight. These NBA players led the league in steals per game in 2004, which was 21 years ago. Baron Davis, Sean Marion, Meta World Peace, Andrei Kirilenko, Doug Christie, and Steven Jackson. We're going to rank them from 6 to 1. Ron, you are first. So your pick and roll.
This was a tough one because they're pretty good players.
Danny, he said send him a message. He's going to send you something.
I think these players are all pretty good. And I would love to have them on my team.
Yeah.
They're not the main guy, so to speak, but they are very good role players.
Yes, agree.
Number 6, I have Steven Jackson. 15.1 points, 3.9 boards, 3.1 assists. He averaged 1.3 steals per game. He didn't win any awards, but he did win one crucial award, and that is a championship. But it wasn't enough to bring him up there. Number 5, I have Doug Christie. 11.2 points, 4.1 boards, 3.6 assists, 1.9 steals per game, and 4-time all-defensive player. So that vaulted him way ahead of Steven Jackson in my book.
Okay.
Number 4, Andrei Kirilenko. 11.8 points, 5.5 boards, 2.7 assists, average 1.4 steals, 1-time All-Star, 3-time All-Defense, and 1-time blocks leader. So just a hair above Doug Christie.
Mm-hmm.
A hair.
Okay.
Number 3, I have Baron Davis. He scored the most points per game out of everybody. 16.1, 3.8 boards, 7.2 assists, which is also the most of all of these guys. 1.8 steals, second. 2-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, and 1-time steals leader. He just didn't get the big prize at the end of the rainbow. Somebody stole his rainbow. But number 2, I have Ron Artest, Meta World Peace.
Okay.
Still don't know why he did that. Probably to change his
image.
Rep.
I'm sure.
13.2 points, 4.5 boards, 2.7 assists, 1.7 steals per game, which is actually pretty impressive. 1-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA. I don't think that they were going to want him in the All-Star games because of who he was. So I think that kind of skewed because I think he deserved more.
Yeah.
4-time All-Defensive and 1-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the championship.
Yeah.
So that vaulted him ahead of Baron Davis with those All-Defensive and championship. But I put Sean Marion at number 1, 15.2 points, 8.7 boards, 1.5 steals per game, 1.9 assists per game, 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, and a championship. I just love those rebounds.
Okay.
I mean, he almost had a double-double
Yeah.
for an average. And I think he was definitely better than average player for sure.
Well, he was a good player.
And I think those three guys were the top. I just like those 2 All NBAs. When you're the best player at your position,
Weird shot in the NBA.
but it was split in hairs between the three of them. To be
the way
honest,
he shot was so weird. But so if we were making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we got the jelly and the peanut butter in the middle, the same. But I flipped Doug Christie and Steven Jackson because of the championship. He averaged a little more in points. Karolinko at 4, Baron Davis 3. I agreed with you there. I went Sean Marion at 2, only because I like Meta World Peace with the 4 all defensive.
Yeah,
that was
that's why I say
impressive.
it was splitting hairs.
And a defensive player of the year, and they both won a championship. So I kept it that way. I agree with you. Ron Artest was not getting on an all-star team based on who he was. So, no, good list, though. Good players.
It was a good list. And it's too bad that Artest was detested.
Yeah. I see what you did there. All right,
I
Ron.
just think that he was such a – when you look at teams today, like I look at him – very similar to Rodman.
Yes. Peanut butter and jelly day. Yes.
That was a good one.
That was
a good one. I just compare him a lot to Rodman.
Yeah.
And the numbers don't always tell the whole story. What he did for those teams that he was on was far beyond the numbers.
Yeah. All right, Ron. It is prediction time. So we bring up that you are slowly gaining some ground here.
Yeah, I'm up by 4 now, Eric.
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks for me. But if you are joining us live, please give us your picks as well, and we'll add you to the chart. Danny 3-1 last week. James 4-2. You went 4-2. I was 2-4. So let's go. Our first game is tonight. That Indiana Pacers at the New York Knicks, game 2. Ron, who do you have?
I'm going to go New York tonight. I think they're going to even up the series. But I think it might go into overtime again.
Yeesh. I agree with you. I think the Knicks do win game 2. Again, they had control of the game for the most part up until that last minute.
It could be one-sided too. I hope it doesn't come down to referees.
Yeah, I don't think it will, though. I think the NBA's been letting these guys play. So
yeah, they might want New York in there.
James is going New York. Anybody else got to pick Indiana Pacers at the New York
Knicks? Go, Danny. Let's get on that board.
Danny. Zoe. 48-15. You got to pick. Mike, if you're still on, got to pick. All right. Next game tomorrow, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 3, crucial game for Minnesota. I think Ant Edwards shows up at home. I went Minnesota here. I have no idea.
Yeah, I went Minnesota as well. I mean, you got to think that he's going to come out and play his best game yet. If not, the series is over.
Yeah. I think he's got to show up, and I think he will game 3. I still don't think they win the series, but
no, I don't think so either.
Game's going OKC. All right. Tonight as well, Edmonton Oilers at the Dallas Stars. Game 2, Ron. Who do you have?
I'm going Dallas. I think they win both at home.
I think Edmonton wins tonight. Fluky goal, something crazy, but I think Dallas again takes the next 3 after that. So I think tonight's the one game. Edmonton. Danny went New York.
Danny's a little behind.
Just a little bit. OKC. Okay.
OKC. And I'm guessing he's going Dallas for.
I would think he's going Dallas. James, you got a pick for the Oilers as well? Yep, James, Dallas.
Dallas Stars. Look at that.
Nice. Get the emojis back. I like it.
You know, I do like the Dallas logo now.
Yeah, it's nice.
They made it. It's that Dallas, star.
Yeah.
But just hockey version.
All right. Tomorrow, you got the Carolina Hurricanes at the Florida Panthers, Game 3. I think Carolina's done. Florida has dominated this, and now they're home.
I
went
see
Florida.
this being a sweep.
Yeah, I went
I see
Florida.
it a sweep. Yeah.
You're going Florida as well.
Oh, my God. Carolina isn't even in this series yet.
Danny went Dallas. So Carolina, the Hurricanes at the Panthers tomorrow.
6-0 last game, right?
Yeah, I think it was 5-1. Was that
5-1? That's what it is. That's what it is.
Going Marchand on this one. All right, James.
Yeah.
The cool part is that trade now that results in a number 1 draft pick.
Oh,
because they got the
beautiful. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's a number 1 draft pick. Yep.
Thank you, Brad.
Yep.
Now you just need to come home.
Yes. All right. Major League Baseball, Ron. San Francisco Giants at the Detroit Tigers, 3-game series. Who takes it?
I'm taking Detroit with this. Detroit has just been amazing.
I agree with you. Listen, Detroit seems to continue to do it, too. It's not like
This is like the days when they had Scherzer and Verlander and all the other great pitchers.
Yep. Skubal is slowly becoming one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. So, I went and Detroit at home. Yep. James went Detroit as well. Keep an eye on Danny's. All right. Major League Soccer action, Ron. You got Inter Miami CF at the Philadelphia Union. And that is tomorrow.
I'm going Miami.
Going Miami.
Going to Miami.
Hey. Miami. No, I'm not doing it. I'm going Union here. I'm going Union. Best record in Major League Soccer. Miami has not played well. So, they've not played well. Not played well. See if James got a pick there.
Can I pick a tie?
You know what? The last 2 weeks have been, by the way. 5-24 tomorrow. We've got the Michigan Panthers, number 1, first place. James going Miami. The Michigan Panthers, who lead the division, at the Birmingham Stallions. This is for first place. Who do you have, Ron?
Oh, as if I'm going to go outside of my team.
You know the funny thing? We both picked the Stallions, and they lost to the Seattle, St. Louis Battlehawks. So they lost. They had palm trees.
So they're not going to let me down now. They're not going to win. They're not going to lose again next week. This weekend. So I'm going the Italian Stallions.
Okay. All right. I went Stallions as well. James going Michigan.
He's trying to capitalize on us loving Italian Stallions.
Yeah. Sunday, you got the Coca-Cola 600 in North Carolina. We need a top 5 driver on. I am going Christopher Bell.
That's who I got.
Christopher Bell. All right.
Christopher Bell.
All right.
For the win. I'm looking for my 3rd win.
You are. I need some luck here. So, Christopher Bell, I know.
Now, Larson is doing both races.
Oof.
So he's doing the Indianapolis 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day.
All right.
He's not winning.
May 24th, we also have WNBA action. You got the New York Liberty at the Indiana Fever. What do you have, Ron?
This is going to be a
Chase
great
Elliott
game.
for James.
This is going to be a great game. I love the fact that Liberty just scored 99 points with 19 threes
Yes.
last night.
Broke a record.
Yes. And also last night, Caitlin Clark lost her streak of 42 games in a row with at least one three-pointer.
He's going cowbell. I'm going to assume that's the Fever. Indiana.
I'm going to go the Fever as well.
All right. I think we all went Fever. We're all going Fever here. I got a fever. And the only prescription is more. James. Yep. So that's our predictions. Tune in next week. See how you did. Ron,
500.
Ron, let's thank all those that have helped Sports Unfolded grow. And we are talking about WDJY 99.1 in Dallas, Georgia.
We got to hurry up. We have like 3 minutes.
WBOB 990 in Providence, Rhode Island, and SEC TV Public Access Channel 12. We are going to get into our final thoughts now, Ron. Our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be anything sports related. Be about anything going on today. You are first. Your final thoughts.
Yes, and it has to be like 30 seconds long. So I'll get to the point quick. Novak Djokovic. He's on 99 tournament wins. He needs one more, and he's in the finals of the Garnet Geneva Open in Switzerland. He faces number 6 Hubert Hurkacz of Poland. So he just needs to win this one to get his 100th title, and only Jimmy Connors with 109 and Roger Federer 103 have more.
Okay. I'll go through mine quick. Jim Irsay passed away, 65, owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Quirky owner, but you know what? He really cared about that team, built that team back up. So, condolences to his family. And my last one, we just got to give him one. Walking in that Boston bar. Norm! Unfortunately passed away. Yes. So thank you for all the great memories there, George Went. We do want to thank once again Max Radovanich. I got it now. Radovanich of Fat to Fit Lifestyle LLC. Thank you. You were a great guest tonight. Everybody check that out. We've got some links on there, and check that out. All we ever ask for, Ron, every single show is that we get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.